right now. And so recording is started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. And by the way, if there are any children here, get them the get them out of the goddamn room. We are here to talk about a piece of something. The movie Pieces.
Something.
I'm going to let Angelkat take this away. This is a personal favorite of mine, not because it is an Academy Award winning performance by any means, but I do love this film. The reason I love this film is I was watching it with my roommate's boyfriend once, and we would always watch shitty movies, waiting for Crystal to get up in the morning. Yeah, Crystal, who has been on this show, in fact, and it brought us to the question of how do you hide a chainsaw behind your back? And then I had to go out and get a widescreen version of the film, and you still don't really have a viable answer to that question. I'm going to let Angelkat go on this one now.
So many questions, just so many questions. Okay, yes, we are discussing the movie Pieces today, released in 1982. This movie was a three-way production between Spain, the U.S., and Italy. Although it was released in Spanish first, and then in English internationally. So it is dubbed in three different languages, including English, which is very weird once you watch it, but it's really interesting. It's directed by Juan Perque Somon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It stars Christopher George, Paul Smith, Edmund Purdon, and Linda Day. And this is actually, fact we will talk about later. Christopher George and Linda Day were married and they had done multiple films before this together. So this is one of many films that they've done together. This movie was made for $300,000 and made $2 million in the U.S. released. Now, it is available on Tubi, Plex, AMC Plus, Roku, Shutter, Philo, Pluto, and also available on Prime or DVD or Blu-ray.
DVD, this one, but
Yeah, I believe I originally saw this. I have a 30-piece DVD collection of random horror films that we got in a DVD $5 discount box at the Walmart.
that's how me and Jeff watched it initially, and I was like, "This is so glorious! I need to buy a real copy." So I special ordered that after seeing it in the 30 DVD collection. I don't know if I still have that version. So let's bring up the tallies. I've got some thoughts, but I want to see the Tombstone tallies. I want to hear Angelkat's thoughts on the Tombstone tallies, if you will.
Yes, Tombstone tallies. I don't know what the hell that was. It was well. So our Tombstone tallies. We've had 7 total kills in the film, 2 sets of boobs, 3 total nudes. This is the first film where we've had complete nudity, and there were 3 of them. 1 perverted
Hold
director,
on.
1 fairy.
One total nude of a male.
Yes, 2
A
total.
male is included in those numbers.
Yes, he is very clearly. 1 very cold pool, 1 completely dubbed dialogue, 3 red herrings, 1 evil synthesizer, 1 killer with asthma, 1 college cover up, chat GPT dialogue, actual good special effects, unneeded jump scare, and
That was not
one.
it. That was not at all unneeded. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was not unneeded.
Well, uh, and 1 loving acting couple's last film. Like I mentioned earlier, Christopher George and Linda Day had been married for a long time. They had been in multiple films. Sadly, 1 year after this film was released, Christopher George did pass away. So this is their last film together?
Okay. I have a few notes.
Mm.
If you don't mind. The killing starts early. I love that. And it just keeps coming. There's only 7 victims, but it doesn't feel like only 7 victims. Are you counting the mother?
Yes, I did count the mother. We should say our review of movies are a little spoilery, so just heads up if you don't want to know anything, just watch the film, then come back. But yeah, the mother is killed in the beginning. I do count that. I also count the fact that she talks about get a plastic bag. In the 1940s, there were no plastic bags. I actually looked this up. I went on Wikipedia. I did my research. I am keeping my crown as research queen of this show. Plastic bags were not invented until the 1960s.
Oh.
And then became popular in the 1980s. So her saying, get a plastic bag to get this, you stupid bastard. Yeah, there were no plastic bags. So I'm just looking at this like, this is so inaccurate.
Oh,
my
one other thing.
Little brain.
From that scene, so the English dialogue says his father is away with the Air Force in Europe. The Spanish dialogue, apparently, when translated, says his father died in the Air Force in Europe. Minor differential, but it does explain why the father never came home and took care of him.
Yeah,
So Professor Brown is the head of anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this film has a lot of anatomy. This film has great anatomy. I'd say Professor Brown has an incredible job as head of the anatomy department.
Well, according to the director, there's not enough of that anatomy. I know for a fact there is a scene with a dance class. There's a dance troupe, and they're doing this beautiful dance to a almost burlesque jazz performance.
I recall.
Yes. Apparently, one wanted all the dancers to be naked.
Because that makes perfect sense.
Yes, to have a room full of teenage girls or young adults, depending on what the college
students.
Age was.
Hopefully, they're college students.
But yeah, he wanted them all to be butt-ass naked doing this dance, and these were actual trained dancers, and they just looked at him and went, "No, we don't dance like that. No." So there is in one of the DVD releases, they interview him and talk about it. He is apparently very perturbed that he could not convince this room full of women to dance naked.
Well, I mean, it would upset me too.
Yeah. And also, speaking of anatomy, one of the girls is dives in a pool, of course, topless, to eventually have sex with her boyfriend. That's what the storyline says.
No, they don't.
They don't, but it's inferred. But this
you know what happens when you go anywhere to have sex with your boyfriend in a film like this.
Oh yeah, the second you get naked and water involved, you dead. But this is a pool in Manhattan in the winter in the 80s. This pool was not heated. This was a one shot and done. She's like, I'm not diving in that pool again. It's too fucking cold.
Understandable. So Kendall is a wolf. That boy is on the hunt throughout this goddamn film, all the way up to the police lady who could be his mom, or at least, his young aunt. Kendall also, by the way, continues to expound upon the theory of super slut powers. Have I spoken about the theory of super slut powers on this program before?
No, please explain.
The theory of super slut powers I originally developed while watching True Blood to describe Jason, the brother. Listen to me snapping by the microphone. That's going to sound horrible in the final. And it also, James Tiberius Kirk, massive super slut powers. These
Yes.
are characters who just bend the world around their personal sluttiness. Kendall is the most unlikely looking possessor of super slut powers I have ever seen in a film.
Yeah. But he's definitely one of those guys that's like he pounds ass all over the college, but he's still respectful of the women. He's not
That's
like,
true.
yeah, it's not like his friend who I don't know, I don't remember this character's name. All I know is I saw him and I'm like, ah, a pre-millennial incel. This is where it all started. The friend he
There's a
goes,
lot of them.
yeah, the friend goes up to a girl. It's like, "Hi, do you want to have sex?" And she's like, "Bug off!" And he, bitch. And I'm like, that's every guy I've ever heard try to be like, I'm a total nice guy. I don't know why girls don't want to date me. But
Oh,
yes, Kendall is definitely the male gigolo, fucking everybody in college, and is also our male schlong first appearance on the countdown. And it is,
this is true. This is
and
true.
it's
The first male genitalia on our lists, shall we
actually,
say?
if I thinking correctly, I do believe this is also the first full nudity. We've not had full nudity on the show. So this
Really?
will be, yes, we have had plenty of titties, one butt, but this is the first time we have had full nudity, full bush, the whole 9 yards.
Well, this would be the film to do it for sure.
Yes. My mom is so proud of me. I spend my time counting bush.
Now, by the way, the moment they mentioned it, 15 minutes into the film, that the waterbed would come into play eventually.
Of course.
And it does, and it is not disappointing. By the way, I wanted to make a joke that the line, I need to try that line, aren't you making coffee? But I realize it's not that funny because that line's actually been used on me.
Oh no.
Oh, it
It
worked.
has. Oh god. The line that worked on me was, there's nothing better than a waterbed and a marijuana joint to get ready for sex.
You see, I didn't hear that very clearly because of the weird dialogue situation, and I read the English translation of the Spanish dialogue, which was "There's nothing like fucking on a waterbed."
That would have
Much more
worked
direct.
better. That would have worked better than the English dub of this whole entire film, which to me sounded like when there was a trend in 2024, 2025 of putting a English recipe into ChatGPT and translating it to another languages and then translating it back to English and then trying to use the recipe like that. And it'd be like, add 3 children of chicken, and stuff like that. And you're like trying to figure it out. This dialogue in this movie sounds like someone put it in ChatGPT, translated it to Spanish, and then translated it back to English in a lot of the dialogue. But also to bring up another bad horror movie, there's a movie called Trolls 2. The director,
It's notorious.
it's notorious.
Troll 2
Right.
is notorious.
Yes. But the director, the English actors they had for the teenagers were telling them, like, nobody talks like this where we're from. It's like, can we try something different? Can we? And he's like, no, 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 no. I know how American teenagers talk. This is supposed to be a college campus in Boston. I did not hear one Boston accent. Also, for some odd reason, a lot of blue in the film. For like no reason. I just noticed there was various shades of blue everywhere. I don't know if that was like a cinema like choice or just happened that everybody chose blue that season. I don't know. Also, funny thing about hiding the chainsaw, it was either in plain sight or in just the most random spots, including at one point in time a sauna. there's at one point in time a reporter like is just searching around a place. She opens the sauna door, sees the chainsaw just there, and then closes the sauna and walks away. And I'm like, people around this campus are getting killed by a chainsaw. You're looking directly at the murder weapon and you just walk away from a random chainsaw in a sauna. I don't know what choice it was because there were American actors in the film, but from my understanding, a lot of the Spanish actors in the film had thick accents and they wanted to dub over it so American audiences could understand it better. I but I don't understand why the American actors also dubbed over their voices. It was a choice.
Very typically in productions like this that go across two nations, an actor will the way they did it in the Clint Eastwood films, for instance, is the American cast filmed all their lines in English, and then someone would come in and dub Clint Eastwood into Italian, and the Italian cast would come in and do all their lines in Italian, and then someone would come in and dub them into English. I don't know how that works for scenes where people are working together, probably very poorly, but that's how it's done typically. This looks like it was done differently, though.
I now desperately want to hear what Italian Clint Eastwood sounds like. But yes, this film is very much the 80s schlock fest that we know it is. It's going to be a lot of blood, a lot of boobs, and for some odd reason, cops working just like we're short on people. Let's get the random college student that has no experience whatsoever and make sure he watches the tennis player now cop and make sure she's protected. And that's why also we see him naked is because he looks out the window, sees her walking around. I must go protect her. So he puts on the pants and leaves the pickney girl in his bed. That's like, you can gag me. I won't make any noise that way. It's like,
thank you. Thank you for getting that in there because we had to hit that line somewhere. You can gag me if we do it again. I won't make noise. That was Kendall. Super slut powers. Kendall. Kendall is just the dude.
Here's the question. Can the super slut powers work for girls?
It does. But most of the examples I pointed out, and I think when I initially came up with the idea, it was male slut, was in the term. Most of it's less or it's more common for women, but it's also a given stereotype for women. It's weirder when they put a guy in that position. Maybe not weirder, but girls have it too, but it isn't written the same, and it certainly doesn't come across the same.
Yeah, I'm like thinking of like women who might have the super slut power in TV shows or movies, and from what I have seen, I think they're mostly written off as the funny best friend who is more of the comic relief of, oh my God, I've had 2 guys last night. It was insane. I can't walk this morning. And they're just used as more of the comic relief. But sometimes they also are the ones that have the more powerful jobs out of the friend group and has that continuously throughout the show while the others will have like multiple jobs.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Okay, so I had to say this at some point because you mentioned when he has to go out and protect his Mary Riggs, not his partner, but the female police officer, who the holy fuck said we need some kung fu in this film.
Oh God. Hey, it's my kung fu professor. Yeah, this is apparently an actor named Bruce Lee with 1 E.
Oh, that was him?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he is one of many known. I'm not going to say Bruce Lee imitators, but one of many known actors who came into the world after the death of Bruce Lee. with similar naming and a similar visual appearance. Anyway, you were
Yeah.
saying.
He was visiting set that day, and the director's like, "Eh, put him in the film." So for like no reason whatsoever, him and the lady cop get startled, and they just start having a kung fu fight, and she knocks his ass out. And then it's like the guy comes in, it's like
Did she?
Kickleton's.
I can't see what hit him. He like goes down for no reason.
I've seen better fights in AAA. Come on, man. Come on, an iguana. The iguana will get you.
We do have in the archive here a copy of The Last Dragon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Bruce Leroy. Good one? I'm not sure, but fun. It's about as good as Pieces, maybe a little better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's about it for this piece of cinema, this piece of art, this piece of film. It certainly is.
It's a movie. It is a movie.
And once again, this is Streaming Graveyard, and saying to you, hold on, saying to you, how the hell do you hide a chainsaw behind your back?